Here's an idea. What if every movie took place in the same universe? I'm Eric Scott.
What up? It's your boy, Rich Mike.
Yo, it's Armand.
Was it the best movie I've ever seen? Yeah, probably.
Thank you, baby.
And this is Across the Movieverse.
Yeah.
Yo, what are we talking about?
Great. We're in it. It's good to see you. This is Across the Movieverse.
What's going on?
Boys are back.
It's good to be back. It's been a minute.
Broadcasting from my new computer.
Oh, yeah. You look so good, dude.
I
Yeah.
wish I could show you guys.
Yo, okay. You got to disconnect, sign in on your phone, show us, sign back in on the computer.
Yeah. Rich Mike just got a whole lot richer.
Oh, man. I mean, the quality's pretty good. Like, you sound good. It's great. Good to have you back. Didn't know what you look like. I was just looking at you through an old computer.
Yeah, I should have shaved before. I didn't realize that look a little nicer, high def.
Yeah. Did you watch
Beard looks great, man.
Did you watch Mortal Kombat on the computer or on the TV?
No, on the TV. I did watch it alone in my room while my roommates were hanging out 5 feet away in the next room watching a different movie.
That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this week we watched Mortal Kombat. What year did this come out? Like 95?
95, nailed it.
Yeah.
95? Yeah, I remember watching it, I think like when I was a kid, I had watched it. Armand, you said you used to watch it with your older brother and then he beat you up.
Yeah, actually one story when I think I was 5 years old, we were watching the movie and we were like play fighting, obviously, as brothers would do. And I remember AJ drop kicked me and I fell and I dislocated my elbow, but I didn't know it was dislocated. It just fucking hurt. I didn't know what that was. So I told my parents that that my elbow was or something was wrong with my elbow. I can't really move it. I just have to keep it like this to my chest. And they're like, you're faking it. Like, it'll be fine the next morning. Like, went to school, like for one day, was like, yeah, I can't, this isn't working out. So I went to the doctor the next day and the doctor's like, yeah, you've had a dislocated elbow for 2 days.
Dude, that's a hell of a move AJ put on you.
Yeah, man.
Classic. My parents also didn't believe any of the injuries that I allegedly had until a couple of days later. And they're like, all right, fine, let's go to the hospital.
Dude, one time when I was, it was the day before my 5th birthday. I was jumping on, remember those old exercise trampolines? Did you guys ever have one of those little trampolines?
Yeah, I had one. It was in the Three Ninjas, and Colt used it to jump into the bunk bed, and I thought it was I didn't have any bunk beds, but it was the coolest fucking thing.
Everybody in the 90s had a exercise trampoline in their house. And so as a kid, we'd jump off it, we'd do weird stuff. One time me and my buddy were jumping from the couch to the trampoline to the couch, and I jumped and I just dove headfirst right into the metal rim of the trampoline and just like exploded my forehead. I'm just like gushing blood. But it was in the late 90s and the Bulls were in the championship. This was back in their Michael Jordan run. And my dad was like drunk and just did not want to drive me to the hospital because
he was drunk, but
well, he just kept saying like the kid's fine, and I'm like bleeding like from my face, but he didn't want to stop watching Jordan and Pippen going at it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be parents.
Or Uber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom was like, I ended up having to get a bunch of stitches, and then they sang me "Happy Birthday" in the ER. It was pretty cool.
I never saw this movie when I was a kid. I played like the arcade game, but I didn't have it like when I was at the arcade, but definitely not like on a PlayStation or some shit.
Yeah.
I never knew what I was doing.
Yeah,
like,
you kind of just mash buttons.
It's the same way I finger now.
Yeah.
Just trying to
finish.
Is this good? is this what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
And then I give her a quarter and I keep going.
You start rotating the analog stick,
And I call a friend in. I'm like, come on, you too.
Yeah, moving that joystick and mashing those buttons has some sexual undertones that I never even figured. Well,
I would use the joystick with my mouth when I was. It was hard. It was hard. I was hard. Man, I'm not allowed to go to a Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
anymore.
Especially now.
So should we do a quick I guess real quick, I mean, we're on quarantine still. What do you guys I just did a count. I've been keeping track. I'm at 64 movies since all this has started.
Holy shit.
And that's not including like TV episodes.
Sorry, I'm
have you
figuring out my
guys
computer.
watch anything you liked
In
in particular?
I haven't seen anything really new. I've been kind of a piece of shit on video games. I've just been playing nonstop video games. But I mean, I've been watching Peaky Blinders. I just finished Tiger King, which was pretty intense. But nothing. I don't think anything new that I haven't seen.
Yeah, no, I've been crushing movies as well. I'm gonna start keeping track of it too, but I'm also bad at watching movies. So then I got to pay attention. These are the ones that I pay attention to. But I did happen to just watch Bloodsport with Van Damme before I even knew we were doing Mortal Kombat, and they're so similar, both based on a tournament, fucking identical. Van Damme is so goddamn good. Van Damme was supposed to be in
he was supposed to be Johnny Cage, I believe, but then he went to Street Fighter, another video game.
Johnny Cage probably was. I think he was based on Van Damme in the video game. But I watched Killing Them Softly, Bad Boys, fucking great movie. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, dude.
Yeah, great combo.
The Producers, which was fucking, I had not seen that before, with Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane, and it's so
need to see
good,
that
so
one.
gay. It's great.
Yeah. Here's with Bad Boys now, like there's a big diversity push in Hollywood, which I think it's been a long time coming. It should have happened a long time ago. But when they would have these like predominantly like black movies, like I never thought about it growing up as a black movie. That was just like my favorite movie. Like Nutty Professor wasn't like the black movie. It was just the fucking hilarious movie.
Eddie Murphy movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And now I feel like, because I mean, it's got to be talked about obviously, but my first thought isn't this is a funny movie. I go, oh, this is a like Crazy Rich Asians. That's an Asian movie. And then it's a good movie rather than just being a good movie that happens to have. Yeah. And that's probably on me more than like society, but
I never even thought of Bad Boys as a black movie, but I just think it's just a good, not a good black movie.
Right.
Almost like Coming to America too. I feel like that's one of my favorite comedies, and I never really thought of it to be like
the funniest guy in the world. Yeah.
Oh, he was hilarious.
I watched Mulan last night as well. Classic Eddie Murphy.
I actually watched that recently too before I went to sleep. It was awesome. I can't wait for the
no singing,
live action.
Unfortunately, no singing in the new one.
Pushed it back to June or July.
Dude, my favorite movie I've watched, I think, is Brokeback Mountain. I'd never seen it before.
I've never seen it either.
Like that movie.
It's because growing up, everybody always made fun of it because it came out when I was in high school. Did you guys have a funny name for Brokeback Mountain that they would say like in your high school when it came out?
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if I should say it.
I mean, if it's real bad, I'll cut it out. But I want to know if yours is the same one that we were saying.
We would. Yeah, you could say yours first.
We would call it a butt plug mountain.
Oh,
you guys knew what butt plugs were back in high school?
I don't know. That was like what my dad's friends called it.
See, ours wasn't even that clever. Ours was just Broke Fag Mountain.
Oh no,
no.
His butt plug has like some ring to it.
I went to an all boys school that's just known for sports, so you got to give me a break.
Yeah, not known for their acceptance or their comedy, because that's just
no,
not clever at all,
or intelligence either.
And watching it though, like I had avoided it for years because I'm gay, as you know, and but watching it was a gay love story set in the 70s is so much better than any like heterosexual love story, because like now if I see like a woman crying over a guy, I'm like, fucking get over it, dude. Like, like I want to see a strong man weeping over a stronger man.
Yeah.
Because they're fighting real adversity here. It's like, oh, my dad doesn't like my boyfriend. Shut up. These guys are gay cowboys. That's
Now those are
badass.
some fucking steaks. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, they cooking steaks and butt fucking each
Each
other.
other.
Awesome. Man, but yeah, so Brokeback Mountain would highly recommend checking it out.
Butt Plug Mountain.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, it's real good.
I feel like now that I'm out of my house, I don't have to worry about, my dad beating me up for watching it,
Yeah, understandable. What do you guys think? Should we dive into a little bit of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, let's do it.
Armand, since this one has a particular place in your medical history, do you want to do a quick summary breakdown?
Yeah, absolutely. So it starts off on Earth. Movie starts off with this character you don't know, fighting Shang Tsung, who's a sorcerer from Earth, who serves Shao Kahn in the outer world or netherworld. I forget which one.
Outworld.
So basically, they set up.
That's the 2020s, baby. Everyone's out now.
That's
right.
gay Disneyland. Going to Outworld.
You're going
That's where
Outworld. You just won $1 million. What are you gonna do? I'm going to Outworld. Yay!
Nipple tassels.
Yeah. A little Janet Jackson nipple ring, I'd wear one. I'd wear one. But
that thing was that was a door knocker. That wasn't a nipple ring.
Oh, that's good.
She's lucky Timberlake didn't rip her whole nip off.
Yeah, seriously.
Grabbed too much, but somehow left that fucking bar on there.
That's funny.
Got that at IKEA.
So anyways, they Shao Kahn builds a tournament so that at what is it, every 10 years or every year there's this tournament.
Every generation. So
Every generation there's a tournament. And they got to win 10 in a row. The bad guys got to win 10 in a row in order to conquer or come to Earth. And they've won the last 9.
So this is the last year before Shao Kahn takes over the Earth. So our American heroes, Liu Kang, Johnny Cash, and Sonya Blade.
Liu Kang's not American. They make a point that he became a pussy when he came to America.
Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah.
Like 4 times throughout.
Yeah.
They sell out, basically.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
That actor's great.
His hair was fucking wild. When he was fighting the guy with dreadlocks, I couldn't even watch the fight. I was just watching the black guy flip the dreads out of his eyes. And then Liu Kang fucking hair, mullet, not moving at all.
Mm-hmm.
You got sand flying in the air, It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Then
Liu Kang is sweet.
Liu Kang's great.
Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and Sonya Blade are the 3. There's many warriors from Earth selected, but Raiden knows that only those 3 can do it. So he only helps them and just lets the bad guys kill all the other warriors from Earth. Raiden's a fucking dick throughout this whole movie. That's all I could think about. I was like, this guy's an asshole. When we find out that Liu Kang's brother was the one that got killed at the start by the bad sorcerer. Yeah. And Liu Kang asks Raiden, how can it's like such a question that people ask God, why did you let this happen to him? And Raiden's response is, why did you let it happen to him, or something like that? What? He's not a guy. He's not God. What the fuck are you talking about, Raiden? You goddamn cross-eyed idiot. God,
he can't intervene, man. He can't intervene.
They let Raiden, or they encourage improvising on the set quite a bit. So originally Raiden was supposed to be much more wise and stoic, but then the actor just kept goofing and being a little weirdo.
Why didn't you save your brother?
They were ooh, catty. He's so catty, dude.
Yeah.
He's telling the 3 American Earth heroes what the stakes are, and he's like, billions of lives will be gone tomorrow unless you do this. And then he just starts laughing in their faces isn't that fucking funny, you idiots? You're screwed. What a dick.
When the brother, which I believe his name was Chan.
Chan, yeah.
When Chan first dies in that opening scene, it looks like Shang Tsung is just jamming his foot up his ass.
Yeah.
He's like, Luke.
And then he like popped in. Yeah, like,
That Shang Tsung was a fucking creep, dude.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, say what you want about Shang Tsung, but at least he, gets you off before he takes your soul.
Seriously. I mean, when that happened, immediately I wrote down, I go, did that man stick his foot up that boy's ass?
First thing I wrote down was any movie that opens with some old man whooping the fuck out of a kid is a movie that I want to watch.
Seriously. Well, and then the next scene, it's Liu Kang wakes up and he reads a telegram that just says, "Brother dead, come home," which is like the very like stereotypically like Asian way to like avoid emotion and just be like, "Yeah, your brother's dead. Come home. Get back now."
It's like there was a very long letter from Japan or China, and the telegrapher it was a bad translator, and just like, all right, we got to just fucking keep this simple. Brother dead, home now.
Home now.
Go
home now.
Go home now.
Oh man, I once knew a rapper named Liu Kang. He was from East St. Louis. He used to buy fireworks for my dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Did he roll with Raw Reese from East St. Louis?
Raw Reese. I thought that was like a Mortal Kombat character at first. No, he was he spelled it Kane, but I used to blast his music in high school. He was pretty cool. I was gonna try to like open for him doing comedy.
Yeah.
So they get to that the tournament. That's the big
tournament
thing
for the fate of the earth.
Yeah.
And they're just immediately.
It's an insane island. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a wild island. They've got to climb up just a huge mountain of stairs.
I was saying very, very Surf Ninjas-esque. I was hoping I was hoping Prince Goro was gonna fall down those steps.
Oh yeah. Well, Johnny Cage kept dropping his bags down. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us a quick rundown of the characters if you haven't. Johnny Cage is Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's like a movie star, but he does all of his own stunts, and like he's still one of the best martial artists in the world, even though he's a Hollywood star. People think he's fake. So he goes to the tournament to prove he gets like tricked into going to the tournament to prove that he is actually a good fighter. We get Sonya Blade, who's chasing after a one-eyed cyborg who's also a fucking creep named Kano. There's I wrote down love triangle between Sonya, Shang Tsung, and Kano. They all want to fuck each other except Sonya. I guess a isosceles triangle, I guess.
Yeah.
She's chasing after Kano, who killed her partner, and that's why she ends up at the tournament. And Liu Kang's going after Shang Tsung to seek. So two revenge seekers and one guy that got like just tricked to prove he's got what it takes or something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. In the beginning of the movie, they talk about destiny a lot, and it sounds like Liu Kang's destiny is to fight Shang Tsung and win, so to save the Earth, and he's been running away from it for a long time. So now he's here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then basically after that, it just is a series of it's like this movie was just a vehicle for the fight scenes.
Yeah.
It was much like the video game. Like, they would just get like dropped into an area, the music would start playing, and they'd assume the position, and then they'd start going at it.
And then they start fighting.
Different settings. I thought like some of the settings, none of this tournament's rules did not make any sense. They were just trying to fucking jerk off the video game, which I was absolutely happy with.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the backstory for these characters were fucking a minute long explanation, and then it was just fight scenes. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Them jerking off the video game was the best. They always threw in like lines from the video game, even though it didn't really make sense, but it's still.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was reading that they originally like screened it, and it got pretty good reviews, or like the test audiences loved it, but they're like, we want more fight scenes, so they went back and filmed extra fight scenes. So that's why when Johnny Cage is doing in the first fight scene alone, and they go into that separate portal, that was because they had already filmed that first part, and it's supposed to just end, and then they go into the second, and they do another fight scene.
Yeah, I think I would have appreciated it more if I had played the video games, because then I would have like recognized
Oh,
the
man.
settings a little bit and shit. We had on the bad guy side there was Scorpion, and Sub-Zero and
Reptile.
Kano and Reptile. Yeah, but Reptile is he in the video game as well? I guess must
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, he's in the video game.
Yeah,
It's pretty fitting that we do this now too, since everyone looks like a character in Mortal Kombat right now with all their masks on.
Yeah.
pop mine on.
Yeah. You look like Melina, I think her name is.
I never even played the game, and I
Dude, the game is
still got
fucking
pumped
awesome.
up by the music when they first started playing that.
Dude,
The
I used
music on it was the first EDM like record to go platinum. Was this?
What?
Which one
soundtrack?
was it? Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was a new type of music pretty much, and they were very unsure. Like a lot of companies wouldn't make it for them, and then they had this smaller music label make this like weird EDM soundtrack based off the video game. People loved it.
Yeah. My favorite, when I was young, I remember specifically the Reptile scene was like, I was like, oh, I'm going to start throwing some fucking kicks at nobody, but I'm going to get riled up and start kicking the air and shit.
Yeah, Liu Kang kicks everyone's ass for just regularly, and then at the end he fights Reptile. He does like, I read this, one of his special moves is that
Bicycle kick.
Yeah, and then he all of a sudden just could punch fire kind of as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This tournament had no goddamn fucking rules. Kano started his fight with Sonya just with a knife. Like, why not give Sonya a knife? He just has the knife that he used to kill her partner, and then she gets her revenge and breaks his neck with her legs. And Shang Tsung is watching. He creams his goddamn shorts watching Kano's head between her legs.
As soon as the crack comes.
Women in action movies always do that, or like the badass women that know how to fight in action movies always do that, legs around the neck and then like flipping. Yeah. It's like something about putting that puss close to your face. It like immobilizes an enemy.
Like Ronda Rousey always doing it in movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Scarlett Johansson in Black Widow, that's like her signature move.
Yeah, that's her superpower.
She just flies up, jams her clam right in your beak.
I mean, that would
slam jam.
Not gonna lie, if a girl slammed her clam in my face, I'd get knocked out instantly.
One time, for our friend Scott's birthday party, he was turning 21, and we went to the Silver Bullet strip club in Champaign. And I was under 21 at the time, but they let people in. And they woke me up at like 1:30 in the morning. They're like, we're going to the strip club. It's my birthday. I'm like, all right, let's go. And they gave Scott $1. They gave Scott $1, who then gave it to this woman who put her ankles on his shoulders, and then proceeded to just jam her ass back right into his gourd, like over and over again. And he goes, oh, thank you. And then she leaves, and he ran and just scrubbed his face in the bathroom.
And this was also pre-quarantine, so
yeah. He might have started it.
I was gonna say he might have been the one.
He's drinking some bat soup.
Yeah, seriously. That was her name, I think. You guys, when they first show Goro the monster, he's this giant, like 4-armed monster. His his fingers look like wrinkly hogs.
Yeah, he's got some penis fingers. I also thought when they were showing Scorpion's powers, who can shoot like a penis out of his hand, I guess. Is all I could think about. Is like, this man can shoot a penis out of his hand, and he's supposed to be a big super villain. Come on.
Yeah, he's one of the strongest too, which is crazy. Scorpion fucks people.
How mad was Scorpion that he fights and loses to Johnny Cage? How mad was Scorpion that the setting that they fought at is a field of trees? I mean, just the worst place for Scorpion to fight. Just any other area, he fucking got him no problem. But a field of perfectly separated trees in a grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that was one of the extra like add-on scenes too.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you think the reptile fight scene was added because it's just like before I'm assuming that one was because it was just right before the final battle.
Yeah, and it wasn't like in the original script he didn't turn into the Green Man.
Oh, he just fought like that.
in the video
Yeah.
game, I wrote down, I was like, I thought it was Sub-Zero at first. I was like, reptile plus statue equals Sub-Zero, question mark? Like,
Right.
Well, so Sub-Zero, a little nerd info. Sub-Zero's a Lin Kuei clan. So there's like a bunch of Sub-Zeros, but like that's not their name. He's Sub-Zero, but then there's like other people, but they all wear the same blue getup.
Garb.
but reptile is in the video game, can you fight as like a alligator looking thing and then also a green ninja?
Yeah. Mhm.
Is it
He has like
two separate
alternate
characters?
costumes. Same character,
separate-
just
Oh,
like
shit.
alternate costumes. I couldn't tell you the science behind
you know.
it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Someday it's laundry day, you know, you got to change up your outfit.
Yeah,
I
he's
get it.
like Fiona in Shrek, you know. At night he turns into a reptile, during the day he's human.
There's a couple love stories that are like going on between Sonya
Real quick,
Blade and
Armand,
Johnny.
if you could just
Oh, yeah.
explain everything in terms of Shrek from now on, I think I would understand what you're talking about a lot better.
Sounds good. Love those movies. Actually saw Shrek 2 recently.
Yeah, but the love stories were
There's a Shrek 2. I'm in.
you're missing out on 3 and 4 as well.
Yeah.
And I think there's Christmas specials and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
too. There's a whole Shrek universe.
Mm-hmm.
Might have to
Shrek
dive into
verse.
that. Shrekverse.
So there's a bunch of love stories, much like Shrek and Fiona,
Yeah.
or the donkey and
The dragon.
Now I get it.
now
So,
I
like-
know what love is.
So like, yeah, Jackie Chan is Shrek. Fiona is Sonya Blade.
Jackie Chan was in this
Oh, Jackie
movie?
Chan?
I mean Luke. I mean Luke
Twist.
King twist. That
That'd
was
be
his
awesome.
that was his stunt double.
That's what they
Jackie
called him in
Chan.
high school.
That's like that's like a mean thing to call someone who's mixed race. Twist.
I'm sorry. So Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade are like Fiona and Shrek, and then Liu Kane and Katana are kind of like Donkey and the Dragon.
So
Yeah, Prince-
what I love about Katana is she's 10,000 years old. She doesn't look a day over 3,000. She's great. And they say that to him, and he goes, and like Johnny or Liu Kane is immediately just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like does not care about. I thought it was very progressive in a.
You
good
see
way
those?
about
You
that.
see those hoo-has, man? I'm going in there.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm gonna wrestle
That
this
ass
girl for a
isn't
bit.
10,000 years old.
I wrote down, I was like, Liu Kang is all about this fucking revenge and all this shit. And I'm like, he sees, first thing he sees at the tournament is Princess Katana and immediately is all horned up. And I'm like, focus on your brother, Liu Kang. Don't be hunted for puss. What are you doing?
Dude, he's hunting for puss for his brother. You gotta give him some slack.
In honor of his brother.
I love. There's a line. So there's this one character, another American character that got a little bit of screen time, named Art. Who is he in the video games, Armand?
He's not. No,
What?
Oh,
Why was he possibly in this movie then?
I don't know.
Right.
I was reading something that they were trying to get him in as a bigger character, but it ended up just not happening.
So what I assumed was that he was in the video game and he was like a giant character, but they just cut all of his lines like in post
Yeah.
because it seems like they set him up. He's with the crew.
Mm-hmm.
Then they even say a line. Johnny Cage says it to Sonya. He goes, "I can't let what happened to Art happen to you." And it's like Art had 3 lines. Like, you guys aren't friends. Like,
Yeah.
why do you care so much about this guy? I was hoping he'd have a lot more. I found some deleted scenes with some art lines that we can go through.
All right, nice. Yeah, because I actually, like I said, I read something on Reddit that they initially had him as a bigger role, that he was actually going to be like walking with them when they meet Raiden and all this shit, but it ended up just turning out that they were like,
They
nah.
kept him in.
Yeah.
Would have really made the diversity a lot better.
Yeah.
I read on IMDb trivia, about those deleted scenes. I thought they were unreleased.
Those well, you know, I'm in the show business and I'm able to go down to the archives occasionally and dig some out.
Yeah.
The Goro, the giant 4-armed monster, do you think that it was just like two guys on each other's shoulders working the arms. Like
they got those little rascals.
Maybe,
a couple
yeah.
Kids, yeah, a couple kids. They tried to go to a bar afterwards or go see like an R-rated movie.
Yeah, Goro couldn't get a loan because the guy thought he was 2 kids in a big trench coat.
And Goro's this. He looks like a Pokemon.
Machamp. Yeah.
And then the way that he gets defeated is Sonya Blade just rocks him in the balls.
No, Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage rocks him in the balls, and
which is one of his special moves in the video game.
And then runs away. Is that really Johnny Cage's move in the video game?
That's one of his special moves in the video game. He like does the splits and does like an uppercut to the ball sack.
Oh wow.
Oh, that is John That's
Van Damme.
Van Damme did that in Bloodsport like 4 times.
That's great.
Of course, splits is his classic move, but he also dick punched like 6 times in Bloodsport as well. Way too often that they should definitely know that that's his move.
Van Damme, he's like, I can do the splits, and you're going to put it in this script as much as possible. Any Van Damme movie.
You think
they show?
I want to mention they show the only nudity in Bloodsport is after Van Damme fucks a woman he just met. They show him like getting ready in the morning, and you just see a little bit of Van Damme butt crack, like a little bit of Van Damme ass. There's a woman laying in bed fully clothed after they just fucked, and they risked the nudity rating on a little Van Damme ass, dude.
Man, that's like an Abercrombie bag, just like a little bit of butt crack.
What?
Did you ever go into an Abercrombie? They've got like giant posters of ripped dudes, and they're just a little bit of their ass crack. I always left there feeling strange afterwards. I didn't know what I was feeling.
Because you were looking at the butt cracks rather than the girls in bikinis.
That gentleman's really put together.
Also, was like when Johnny Cage fought Goro, was Goro just like rock hard? Because when he punched him in the balls, he's like, shit, that hurt.
Yeah.
You think Goro just gets fucking ripped up for a fight?
The thing that I noticed that is he gets punched in the balls, and they were so like jazzed about this animatronic like thing that they had made that they show a good 30 seconds of his face just like contorting.
Yeah. It was so long.
like way too long. But they're probably like, oh yeah, we designed it forever. Like we can make the eyebrows move.
We can make the eyes pop out a little more.
Yeah. It was great.
The Goro is built up. They show him killing all of the other Earthen warriors that Raiden let die, and the big fucking Goro fight scene is he gets punched in the dick and then pushed off a cliff, and that's no problem.
Right. Oh man,
that's good.
I found this is directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
This is Wes Anderson fucking getting his nut off in these video game movies. He's tired of making this artistic gay shit.
Well, see, I was thinking it was that Paul Thomas Anderson is extremely famous, and this guy is probably getting so much work for people thinking he's Thomas Anderson, director of The Master, and like Daniel Day-Lewis is in Mortal Kombat now because he thinks it's a different Paul Anderson.
Bill Murray almost played Raiden.
Dude, that would have been good. That
would have been funny.
Why does he have 2 middle names? It's definitely Wes Anderson. There's no doubt in my mind that Paul W.S. Anderson made Mortal Kombat and Underworld, or what's the one with Mila Djokovic? It's Underworld or Resident Evil, one of those.
Resident Evil, yeah.
It's Resident Evil.
That's just Wes Anderson fucking he's ghost
jerking it out
directing
for video games.
There's just really, really long shots and like zoom ins on books and stuff of the I would love to see a Wes Anderson directed like Marvel movie and how weird it would be.
Yeah.
The best casting that they didn't do was Danny Glover was supposed to be Raiden at one point.
No way.
Yeah,
that would have been great.
He was in consideration. I mean, there's so many considered people for these roles. They're like Cameron Diaz was supposed to be. She was all set to be Sonya. But could you imagine Danny Glover as Raiden? Like,
starting to feel like I'm getting
10,000
too
years
old.
old. I'm too old for this shit. I would have loved
The
that.
only line we know that Danny Glover
Yeah.
says.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so here's a thing that I was wondering. Okay, if you guys could recast this movie with like potential people or just anybody, who would be your ideal big three and then Raiden?
Big three and then Raiden.
Yeah, and also consider the time too, 1995.
Yeah.
Who was hot back then?
Well, I mean,
Ooh.
Jackie Chan is Liu Kang, or if we're going 95, then we have to go the same race and gender. But if this movie was remade now, we can mix it up.
They'd all be
Aquafina
black,
is Liu Kang.
trans.
Yeah, right. We go Caitlyn Jenner as Sonya Blade.
That's not what I meant. We don't need to cast trans. We could just have a.
No, I know. Hey, she's a woman. As far as I'm concerned, she can play. As far as I'm concerned, she can play Sonya Blade.
Yeah.
Hey, you see my
All right,
hands up?
You know what?
No
If that's
offense.
the case,
You know?
Caitlyn Jenner also is Johnny Cage. Let's not break any barriers here.
She plays two roles.
Let's not burn any bridges.
Yeah. Oh man, be like.
I mean, I want Van Damme. I want Jackie Chan, and I want Sharon Stone. Fucking.
Ooh,
I was
that
gonna
would be
say
good.
after watching Total Recall, Sharon Stone would be a
she's
good,
smoking hot.
Sonya Blade.
Her move is she just shows the bad guy her puss and then
Yeah.
they follow Basic Instinct.
It's the same finishing move that the original Sonya Blade had as well.
Yeah. Well, in the video game, Sonya Blade has a move where I'm pretty sure it's Mortal Kombat, or maybe I'm thinking of something else, but she like blows like smoke, purple perfume or something in the person's face, and they like fall over. So maybe that's her puss fumes, you know?
Yeah. Bottle
You
it
know?
up.
Yeah.
Okay, another question then. What do you think the funniest race and emotion combo is? Like, to me, it's Asian surprise.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the funniest. Like, because there's a bunch of that movie. Like, ooh.
I like to see a old black man disgruntled, and
That's good.
we're watching a lot of
man.
90s movies, and it's always got an old black detective that's just fucking sick. Danny Glover ass, just fucking tired of this bullshit.
Yeah.
I like seeing like middle-aged white dudes like very, very frustrated about their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Just always angry.
God damn it, Karen.
God damn it, Karen.
Where'd you put the damn golf clubs?
They weren't gonna find it. Yes, they would have. That's some fucking good fellas right there.
Yeah. You still there, Mike? Did we lose you? Oh, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry.
No, you're good. Here, do we? You want to do the scene real quick? All right. So what I'm gonna have you do? I found the whole original script,
Yeah.
and now you just describe one scene from the movie, and I'll tell you what Art's lines would have been.
All right.
All right. So I mean, we'll start with the first. We can get the first one. When he meets Johnny Cage outside the boat.
Yeah. Johnny Cage gives Liu Kang his suitcase, thinking he's a valet.
Yeah.
And then he's talking to Art Lean about it.
So it says, close up on Art. Aw, hell no. Okay, next scene.
It fits in perfectly. Why would they cut that out? All right. What about when he gets absolutely four-armed Goro holds onto his hands and then punches him with his other two hands?
Yeah. That shit's whack. I'm starting to see why they cut these lines.
What are you talking about? That fits perfectly.
What about in the beginning when they're eating dinner and he's sitting at the table and there's just a bunch of good ass food on the table? What's he say there?
It says, close up, Art's eyes wide, and he said, just like my mama used to make. Yeah, man.
And then you said that originally he was going to be with the three, Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, and Johnny Cage. when they first meet Raiden, and Raiden's telling them about the adventure, the magic and shit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Meets Raiden for the bench.
So right here, we'll go like Raiden. Only one of you will be able to face Shang Tsung to defeat him and save the Earth. You guys got to figure that out.
Hey, I'm out of here. I ain't listening to no silver-haired white boy telling me I gotta fight some four-armed crack ass.
And that's my favorite reaction right there as well. Black man disgruntled.
Now you're here to tell me
You're here to tell me that this white
motherfucker's got 4 arms.
What about when he's driving when they're driving over to the boat and Johnny Cage touches his radio?
Oh, you never touch a black man's radio. Yeah, boy, I slap you upside the head like my mama did at the old switching tree. Now he's from 1850.
You think they took out that don't ever touch a black man's radio from that script and put it into Rush Hour?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they missed a good opportunity, but I'll be
Rush Hour
releasing
is also based on a video game, just a board game.
Yeah.
You just get to play an Asian guy and a black guy hanging out.
Go to Asian food places and stuff.
Sounds great. I found a little trivia. The one thing I like, so the kid who played Chan, he wrote and starred in a show called Asian Conan. That's what it was called.
Like Conan O'Brien or Conan the Barbarian?
That was my question, because there's not one bit of detail about this show. So I was wondering, do you think it's Barbarian or possibly O'Brien? Like he comes out.
I want to say Conan O'Brien.
He's a talk show host.
Conan the Barbarian.
I bet Asian Conan is like a bit that Conan O'Brien has done at some point.
Yeah, like in the 90s, I'd bet it.
Yeah.
Man. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else about specific things about the movie? Any weird stuff? Or we can get into some. I got a few fun theories, twists.
We talked about Scorpion getting killed by Johnny Cage. Sub-Zero got killed by Liu Kang in one of the fight scenes, and Liu Kang learned how to beat Sub-Zero with a secret from Katana, and then all she says is the source of life, and I'm thinking, is he supposed to come on Sub-Zero? Like,
yeah, right.
What does she talk about? It was water, but I could have got fucking.
Sure? Could have been a bowl full. Could have been a bucket full of cum, you know.
That's how he ended up beating Sub-Zero with water, with buckets of water just laying around. But I thought that was Scorpion and Sub-Zero killed fucking these guys. Pretty cool powers, and then their deaths are just lame as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very much like the video game in that sense.
Yeah.
They just fucking load up and get going. You'd hear the music start playing, like fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like Reptile. It like says the person's like bad guy's name, and then they start going at it.
Yeah. Well, I think the chameleon, or not chameleon, he's like an alligator, but he looks like a chameleon kind of, and he can change.
Yeah, Monsters Inc.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Randall.
Yeah, that's one of the because they talk about different realms, different universes. I think the monster realm has got to exist.
Monsters universe.
They maybe Shang Tsung and the Emperor conquered monsters universe last time, and that's how they were able to.
Maybe
they recruited Randall.
Oh,
he's like sliding around.
Yeah,
dude, I bet Randall.
Mike Wazowski.
In those movies, Randall was like sliding into the women's locker room and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a creep.
It was based. That character was based on Steve Buscemi, and Buscemi's is sliding around those locker rooms.
He's like trying to like. He's not camouflaged, but he's like against the lockers. Like
he's just super lubed up.
It's like you can't see me. Steve, get out of here. Oh, Buscemi. I was reading a theory, and people, if you go on Reddit, people are real assholes on Reddit. Like, if they don't like your, there's that's like nerd domain.
Yeah.
If you're not nerdy enough, they will bully the shit out of you.
Yeah. If you don't know what you're talking about, get the fuck out of here.
I've seen the mean comments. I've never posted or done anything on Reddit.
No.
Well, there was one guy who thought that because this is a video game, that they're related to the there was like some DC crossover at one point
In Mortal Kombat, the video game, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Green Lantern people, it's like the same power source where like the Mortal Kombat people can produce energy and create shit. I think that's related.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fun one. I would like
Absolutely.
to see one giant movie with all of them in there. With Mortal Kombat fighting Iron Man and
Yeah.
You think a DC Marvel crossover movie ever happens soon?
I hope.
probably not soon, but I bet it'll happen.
Over under 20 years.
Well,
I'm gonna say
Endgame took 15.
Did it? Oh shit, it did.
Just to have one crossover movie, I mean.
Well, the only thing that's hard is it's aren't they just owned by different companies? So it all depends. I mean, that was the whole thing with Spider-Man. Like Sony didn't wanted to do their own, which is bogus.
I think Disney's gonna just buy everything.
Yeah,
one of these days.
I hope. I think that'd be pretty sweet to see Batman and Superman fighting with Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel has really figured out their movies a lot better than DC.
Oh yeah. Well, I think DC.
The formula.
I feel like DC just rushed it. They were like, "Oh shit, Marvel already started, so we got to get all of our characters out."
Yeah. Just like the space race with the Soviets back in the 50s. You know?
Yeah. Yes.
We got Neil Armstrong on the moon, and they got Sputnik the space potato on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got Yuri Gagarin, the first Russian cosmonaut.
Yeah. Cosmonaut.
Cosmotwat. Who's that? Well, we've talked about this one before in Big Trouble in Little China. Obviously, there's those the three like elemental type people were based off of Mortal Kombat. So that's got to be
Raiden.
That's got to be Raiden in his hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said.
Or maybe Raiden trained that guy's son, and then he betrayed him.
You said Sub-Zero or Scorpion have their own clans. Maybe those guys are Raiden's clans.
Yeah, maybe.
And then also they were those guys kind of popped up in a version in Sucker Punch as well, in their weird universe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The samurai dude.
Only 3 big giant hats exist, and anyone that's wearing it
and that's
either pass it down or.
I feel like one for Sonya Blade after, besides what was it called, Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
I think after she saves the world, let's just say there wasn't a second movie. She saves the world. She kind of slows down, and she's like, "I'm kind of done with all this fighting shit. I'm gonna become a teacher." And then she ends up teaching was he like 28-year-old fucking billionaire son, Billy Madison, and she falls in love.
I think the Last Action Hero, the way that it breaks up into like the movie realm, anything with realms, it's like, okay, anything's possible. All bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
So Sonya Blade could have like came out of that, or she could have been an actor from the Last Action Hero universe. There's all sorts of possibilities.
Yeah. Or like in Last Action Hero, her dad, Arnold Schwarzenegger, is an actual like agent. So maybe, I mean, she probably, and she beats ass, as you saw in that movie. She probably just like, hey, I'm going to be an agent. Changes her name to Sonya Blade.
I love the names in this.
Yeah.
Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage.
I'm telling you, these video game movies are sweet. They didn't even have, the characters didn't even have enough backstory for like Liu Kang to even learn a lesson. Like Raiden, his big lesson was that he knew about the rules or something like that. Like that was his big fucking realization moment.
Or he had to just face his destiny. That was basically it. Just go fight Shang Tsung. I know you're doing it anyways, but like you'll learn as you go do it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I think that's all I got for theories.
Yeah, I kind of agree. At first, I thought Raiden was the dude who played Punisher. What's his name? Like Thomas something?
Thomas Jane? That'd be
Yeah,
sweet.
Thomas Jane.
Mm.
They have like a weird
Oh.
facial. They kind of resemble each other.
They wanted Sean Connery to play Raiden.
He wanted a lot
really?
of people to play Raiden.
They wanted Tom Cruise to play Johnny Cage. Like,
Yeah,
the perspective cast for this could have been so fucking good.
insane.
Yeah.
I thought this movie was pretty good.
I wonder.
liked
I
it too.
wonder if by not having an insane cast that's why it's good.
It allowed them to like have more money for special effects and shit.
Yeah.
Probably. And this director, he had only directed one other film for like $100,000, and
Shit. Put a lot of faith in it.
there were some real big names in the running for this, but they liked his work. Pretty inspiring stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if he was like a big Mortal Kombat fanatic. Maybe that was another reason why.
Yeah, I think he did
Here.
like the games.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think we broke it down well. Overall,
I
I
think
would
so.
say, yeah, go check it out. It's on Netflix. It's free.
Yeah.
You got time.
Yeah.
Quarantine. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'd say watch this one.
Oh,
I'd
wait,
give it,
actually, I think I forgot. Someone might be calling in. Should we do that real quick?
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
Who's calling
gotta-
in?
Who's
I
calling
told
in?
him I'll give him a call. He's a friend of mine. I met him in my travels.
Ring, 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 ring.
Yeah. Hello.
Wait, am I calling you or are you calling me?
Yeah, am I calling you or are you calling me?
Hello. I
Hello?
called you.
Oh, hello.
You answered. Hey, how's it going, guys?
This is the podcast, Across the Movieverse. What can we do
Hey.
you for?
What's going on? This is Kevin Borkins. I'm a friend of Eric's. We met in our showbiz travels, and I worked on Mortal Kombat, and so he wanted me to come in and talk a little bit.
Oh,
Thank you.
shit. You got
I
any
worked
cool
on the-
stories for us?
Well, I started off as a production assistant, very low level job, but I was quickly filtered into the job of being the background extras oil boy.
Ooh.
I was
Those red hooded guys were all oiled the F up, and there was a lot of
Well,
them. You must have been
you're familiar with my work.
Yeah.
fucking I was gonna say hands were dry, but certainly not.
No.
My hands were not dry. They caught me red-handed because I was in a lot of pain. They had me rub those men down for hours at a time.
I was going to say you must have had some pruny ass hands.
Oh yeah, yeah. At one point, we ran out of oil, and in a just a flash of genius thinking, I used a tub of Land O'Lakes butter that I heated under one of the set lights, and then I just
Mhm.
rubbed them up like
Started
a
greasing
piece
them
of
up.
toast on breakfast morning.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Have you worked on any other movies as an oil boy? Were they fucking you? I'm sorry. I gotta ask this. Were they fucking you?
Not all of them. All of them tried. only about 50% succeeded.
Only a few of them.
I just had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry.
That's what they said too.
Wait, you came on their chest?
Well, they were very generous. I can't. They let me come too. I was the best oil boy in the city. Goddammit. I ran that town. I've worked on 300. That was me.
Wow.
Baywatch, the TV show, and the new movie. I
do
follow
Magic
The
Mike?
Rock around with a jar of coconut oil and slap it on his ass every time he goes on Instagram Live. That's me, man.
Is it only men, or do you oil up women as well?
Hmm? What's that?
Do you oil
Oh my
up?
God! I've only oiled up men. No way. Oh wow! I think I just had a realization here.
You should watch Brokeback Mountain. My friend, or our friend Erik watched it, and
Ah.
He said it's a great.
he might have came
Actually,
out
I
of the
did see
closet.
that. I oiled myself up quite a bit during that film.
Okay, then never mind. There's no realization. You are.
There's a scene in the movie Van Wilder. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Where Taj sprays a bunch of oil on a woman and then slides across her. I designed that.
That was
Nice,
you?
because it happened to you before, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. And
Except it wasn't a woman; it was a greased up man.
Beefed up.
Yeah, it was
beefed up fellow.
It was King Leonidas.
Oh, nice!
This is Sparta.
Did he have a little bit of his butt showing, like Abercrombie and Fitch, or?
Oh yeah. I got a lot of those bags perched around my apartment. Just trying to think of some other work I've done. What I think originally inspired me was when I saw Home Alone, and I saw how slippery things could get, and I was like, "That's the business I'm trying to get into."
I need to get a little slippery.
When did they just not hire an oil boy? I almost said oral boy. A little Freudian slip, Freudian oil slip, if you will.
It's my cousin.
They hired you as just a PA and then you worked your way up, or did you volunteer, or did you just, I guess you hear people getting the best jobs when they're doing things like without getting permission. You start oiling people up and the boss sees you and is like, wait a second.
When I started oiling people, they didn't even want it. Okay. It was not even a thought. I had brought my own, cause we were shooting in Thailand and I didn't want to be stuck without, gallons of body oil. And I said, I don't want to overstep here, but I see these men are rather dry. Okay. Their muscles aren't shining. And I think I should step up. And they did resist quite a bit. I had to hold them down. But eventually, I kind of got my way, and it ruined all the lighting setups because there were glares
everywhere
off of nipples and stuff. But I think in the end they were very happy with it.
Yeah, but I really can't figure out if you're taking advantage of people or being taken advantage of. I cannot understand this give and take relationship you have with oil.
Do you get a bump in pay that you're rubbing these people down?
There's bumps. All right.
I don't know if it's pay bumps, but
I get a bump.
Yeah.
Get a bump in my pants doing it. They say when you love what you do, it's not really work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just I don't think because film is a visual medium, as you know. Yeah. And I don't think that the male form can be appreciated without just gobs and gobs of oil.
No, I feel you, man. I never really get like in 300. I didn't get jacked up until I saw some oiled men.
Mm-hmm.
Were you disappointed that like the first shirtless fight scene from one of the main characters was at the end when Liu Kang fought Shang Tsung? Like, was that the first time you even got to oil up one of the stars? Or are you strictly? I know you were oiling up a lot of extras, but
yeah,
you want to get those paws on that the best merch.
Yeah, that was a big deal for me. I wanted to learn the craft a little bit more. I wanted to, make sure I got everybody knew exactly my way around, because if you remember Liu Kang, he's built like a brick shithouse, pardon my French,
Is that a good or bad? Is that a business term you use? A brick shithouse? Is that good or bad?
Well, it depends who's shitting. It's sturdy.
It's healthy.
It's built to last. I'll tell you that.
Who was the if you had to name someone, who is probably the best body you've ever worked on?
Ooh, that's tough. Best body.
Not including your own, of course.
Yeah.
Not including mine. Sometimes Kevin Hart and The Rock will call me over, and I just lube them up, and The Rock will chase Kevin Hart and try to catch him. Okay, and he can never get it. And he can never get his hands on him.
They're both so lubed up.
They're both so lubed up, and they'll play for hours, and we'll just laugh.
And laugh.
That's that's a little off the record, little showbiz secrets.
I thought Kevin Hart on The Rock's shoulders was originally cast as Prince Goro in this as well. That's a set rumor?
Yeah, that's true. That can be confirmed. This was before either one of them had made it big, and they were taking whatever job they could get.
Yeah.
And I made friends with them because I would lube them up under the costumes, and you couldn't see it on Goro because if I would have lubed too much, it would have short circuited him.
Yeah.
But that's how we made friends and came up with our game called Catch the Little Piggy.
Okay.
That's what
Sounds like a
it.
fun game. Sounds like a game I really want to play once we're out of this quarantine.
Yeah, seriously. I can't wait to lube myself up and run down Broadway.
Mm-hmm. So how did you know Erik? Do you lube Erik up or before he goes on his comedy sketches or
We've met
stand-ups?
in various lube circles before. We've crossed paths.
Did you lube him up when he watched Brokeback Mountain?
I definitely I recommended it to him. I gave him some technique and form. You know, we're not supposed to. So with social distancing, we're not really supposed to.
Nice.
Which is really damaging me in the oil game when you can't touch people.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I do. I touch people here, and I touch people right there in your heart. a little bit.
I was gonna say a little lower than the heart as well, and behind.
Yeah. Well, boys, I think I got to get going. The Rock and Kevin Hart, they said they're gonna try to lube themselves up, and I got to be on the phone for this one, or else all hell's gonna break loose.
Zoom
But it was
meeting
good talking to you
with,
guys.
yeah, take it easy,
Thanks for
man.
coming by.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay lubed.
Oh, catchphrase. Erik, your buddy had a
What's going on?
catchphrase that he went out on.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think? Kevin Borkins, nice
Yeah,
guy.
Kevin
That kind of
Borkins
gave me the
did.
creeps.
Yeah. He's.
I'm not
he
gonna
loves
lie,
what
though.
He does.
I think hearing his voice, I think I might want him to, lube me up before I go out on the beach somewhere, when the
You really
sporting's
should.
all over.
I mean, the guy knows his stuff.
I mean, I'm not built like a brick shit house, but I got some
Erik,
I
do
got
you know
some
what
tub
that
for him.
means?
I think it's strong. Looks good.
All right, so it's positive. I got it.
Strong. It's it looks good.
It's pretty good. Whew. All right. Well, glad we got to talk to Kevin. Yeah, I'll catch up with him. I got a Zoom meeting with him later as well.
Yeah, nice. I'll definitely give this movie a 4 Goro thumbs way up.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
4 penis thumbs.
Yeah,
way
up.
Yeah, this movie was good. I'd recommend it. And these older movies are shorter as well, so you could watch 5 of them in a day.
These 2-hour, 30-minute movies are killing me.
I watched Lord of the Rings: Twin Towers and
so good.
Star Wars 2, and they're fucking so long. And pardon me, it's 2 towers, not
Twin Towers. I watched Lord of the Rings: Return of the King without seeing any of the other ones in theaters, and I remember having to pee. I had to pee the whole last half of the movie, but I didn't want to leave. We were sitting front row. It was
it's so amazing.
So long.
Yeah, it was just
so fucking long. Exhausting.
I'll watch any movie that's 90 minutes.
Sign me up all day. I'd also recommend Bloodsport. It's fun.
Bloodsport. Is it on anything?
Yeah, it's on Netflix as well.
Sweet.
Okay, I'll check that out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Also watch Brokeback Mountain and make sure you got your bottle of oil with you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right.
Well, stay safe out there. Enjoy quarantine. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.